What's up, guys? We're gonna do a little chat time today and go over a few little things I got in the mail. What's up, the goat? We're gonna do a little, like the thumbnail or the title says here. Got a few packages in the mail. Got something really awesome from one of the guys that are always usually joining in the stream here. What's up, Jim Drone? What's up, buddy? Just got home last night from first trip back out in television, and things went really well. It was a good time. What's up, Nick? How's it going? Chad. Of course, we got to bring Chad. But what's up, Harold? How's it going, buddy? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up a couple packages here. I got some awesome stuff showed up today, so figured just have a little chat, see how everybody's Sunday's going. If you guys have any fun, I wanted to go out today, and I was actually talking with Trevor last night, and maybe it was this morning. But anyway, it's been raining here just on and off all day. It rains, it stops for like half an hour, and it rains again. So unfortunately, it's not a great day to go out and have a little fun with the cars. I was hoping to. I just got home last night, like I said, from the first trip back working in television. And if any of you guys know, I'm on the I don't know where everybody's at, but the SEC college football. I'm on that tour for the next 4 more weeks. I think 4 or 5 more weeks. So I'll be doing that. And it's fun. We just got back from Athens, Georgia. We were down there doing that one. And this coming Wednesday, we head to Old Miss. What's up, Captain Coulda? How you going, bud? Good morning, Salty Balls. So, guys, we're going to go over a couple things here. I'm going to say probably the best for last. So I got home here yesterday, installed my Big Rock 2050s. I bet it was running pretty good. What are you running that thing on, Harold? Is it 4S or 6S? What are you running on that thing anyway? So as you guys know, I had a string of bad luck. I talked about it before and even on the videos with lipos recently going up in fire. And I had, I think, 1 4S lipo left. I had numerous ones go bad. I've had 6S ones go bad. Catching on fire, all kinds of stuff. And luckily, Ovonic was very nice, and they sent me along some new 4S lipos. So this was awesome because, this was a much needed. I had nothing I could run in my Outcast. I had one set that works in my X-Max, but they're too big for the other ones. So I didn't have anything really to run in the Max or the Outcast for us. Everything was dying on me. What's up, Mike? What's up, Nick? How's it going, bud? So yeah, I kept having all the batteries going bad, and I didn't have any 4S lipos left for any of the, especially like the Outcast, or like I said, any of that. So Ovonic sent along to me a set of the 6200 milliamp ADC 4S lipos. Can't wait to test these things out. Got some, always great to get some stickers. How's everybody else doing today? Anybody else getting to go out and run? Anybody not getting swamped with rain and, lovely weather? These are a hard case, which is nice, especially for bashing. The hard case batteries definitely work really nice. They tend to hold up, a lot longer because it doesn't allow, obviously, that battery to flex. I've tacoed a number of them. And amazingly enough, a lot of times I've done that to them, and they look terrible, and you kind of bang them straight carefully, and they'll work for a while, but the hard case ones are definitely nice. And these are 6200 milliamp, but they're the length of them are great because they're going to fit in the Max and the Outcast 4S perfectly. So they're not too long, but they're just a little bit deeper, but they still fit in there, which is great. Yeah, Jims, you know what? I've been going back and forth with lipos and problems with them. And the last set of Ovonic 4S batteries I had for quite a long time. And I've had a lot of them. The 6S pack I had, a lot of them, I mean, they held up the longest and have beat the snot out of them, bent them all up, and they kept kicking. So definitely excited to give these a run. You got the day off, Mike? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm home today, but obviously not heading out. I want to head back down to the motocross track is my plan, and I'm hoping that tomorrow is drier. I honestly haven't looked at the weather for tomorrow. Like I said, I got home last night. I haven't got to really catch up on that, but I'm hoping tomorrow to head down to the motocross track, and I want to take these down because I want to run the Creighton 8S and the Outcast 4S at least, or one of them or both of them. You know, always take a backup in case you decide to bust one early. But yeah, definitely excited to run these batteries, and it's great to have a set of 4S batteries again. So big thank you to Ovonic on that one. But let's catch up on chat for a moment. Still waiting on my stickers. Who are you waiting for stickers from, Nick? Me? Did I not? Was I supposed to send you? I apologize. Sometimes I get mixed up here. As far as my health and this whole thing going on, no, I haven't got an update, unfortunately. I'm supposed to get an update on Tuesday. They originally told me when I went in and had it done, they said, well, you come back in a week to get the stitches out, and we should have your results by then. I thought, all right, great. That'll work out good. Went in to get my stitches out, no results. Called back a week later, still no results. All right, well, this is getting kind of ridiculous. So I called them back on Friday. And said, hey, want to call before the weekend came up, find out, if you guys got the results back. And the only thing there said, she goes, we got your results back, but I can't tell you what they are. I'm like, okay. She says, I have to wait till Tuesday till the doctor's here, and he's going to call you. Now, I have no idea what that means. I don't know I guess it could be good or bad, or the doctor has to sign off on stuff. I'm not totally sure on all of that. But hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll finally have an answer because I'm still waiting to find out. And honestly, it's been nerve-wracking because, obviously I would love to know what the hell's going on. No matter what, I have to go back in to get it removed, whether or not it's benign or, if it is cancer or something like that, I have to go get it removed no matter what. I guess it's just a matter of finding out which direction they got to go with surgery. If they can just go back in and remove it, or I have to go in and get put under and all that garbage. So don't know that part yet, but I'm hoping to find out here soon. What's up, 3DRC? Yeah, that's what I was talking to some other people, 3DRC, and guys, any guys out there that don't know who 3DRC is or his bumper mounts or bumper supports and wing mounts haven't tried them, do yourself a favor, try them. Those things have been the best things I've ever added to the cars on those bumper supports and those wing mounts. I mean, they hold up phenomenal. But anyway, yeah, no, 3DRC, I've heard the same thing from a couple of people now that they say that they're not licensed and they're not able to give people the results until a doctor either does it or the doctor signs off allowing them to do it. So it sounds like it doesn't mean it's any worse. It's just, unfortunately, I still got to wait because, of course, my doctor is on vacation until Tuesday. He's supposed to be back on Tuesday. So she said, hopefully Tuesday he'll go and sign off on him. And she said either him or her will be in contact with me. So I appreciate that. Great, Nick. Yeah, you know what's weird is this thing just popped like out of nowhere. You guys can see it's healing up quite well. What's in the box? Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that, man. You're really such a great dude, and I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you have a great day too, buddy. But yeah, I got that's the incision now. It's only like about 1.5 inches long. I don't know what shows up. It's healing up really well. Healed up really great after the stitches came out. But the only sad part is no matter what, I got to go get it cut back open. But what I wondered is like, well, either way, if they have to take it out, right? Whether or not it's nothing or if it is something, no matter what, they have to take it out. Like, why don't they just take it out and go from there? I don't know. I'm not, I mean, obviously, I'm not a doctor. So I don't know the reasons or the things behind that, but it's just bizarre. But anyway, so guys, we got some new Ovonic 4S batteries. I'm excited about those. We'll get into the next package. This is awesome. And I'm assuming Harold is still in here. See you, chat. And again, what's in the box? I always appreciate you, buddy. So I'm trying to get into here. I started getting into this, but I don't want to give away his address, obviously, or anything. But as you guys seen in here, H. Riviera sent me a little care package, or sent me a little package over, and I really appreciate it, buddy. And I quickly popped it open and wanted to show you guys what we got in here. So first, thank you for the letter also, buddy. I really appreciate all of this. I don't want to give too much information. Not too much, but really appreciate the note in here. Thank you very much, man. But, so he sent along with me, and this tool, I cannot wait to try this thing out. Looks awesome. It is a, holy cow, 3DRC, thank you. Thank you much, buddy. I really appreciate it. And dude, and guys, it's, 3DRC, tested out and tried a bunch of his products. And, I've been honest. I try to be honest with everybody about products and what is good and bad. And that's why, like with these RC lipos, they sent me the batteries and they turned out to be trash. And I don't want anybody to buy those things. And I've been kind of trying to be honest with you guys because I don't want anybody burning their car down or burning their house down and stuff. But 3DRC, the stuff he makes really is some really top-notch products, and I've been really happy with them. But thank you very much, 3DRC. I greatly appreciate that, buddy. But anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked here. So he sent me this little multi-tool. It's made by RCM. I think it says RCM Madness. But it's got a locking style. You guys can see that. It locks in, and it's got a whole bunch of bits here with it. And it's got your 1.5, your 2, and your 2.5 drivers on here. And also 2 of the standard nut drivers that they use either on the larger or the small, like shock, the shock nuts that they use in the shocks. And the bigger one, what is that mostly commonly used on? The larger ones that, like, I know M2C and stuff like that uses that larger size. But it's an awesome multi-tool kit. It's small, it's compact, and it's got everything in here that you need to be able to fix the car or fix it out in the truck. And I think this is going to be a great tool to keep with me in my travel container for whenever I go out bashing, because usually I'm always breaking stuff. Yeah, your standoffs. Thank you. 3OC. But yeah, this is an awesome tool. And Riviera, Harold, whatever we call you, thank you so much, brother. I mean, this is an awesome little toolkit. And I like how light this thing is too, because it's all vented. It's great. And I think, does this unscrew? Started playing around with it. But what's always nice is the fact that it locks in, because so many times I had another one like this. It had a lot bigger handle. It was big and goony and kind of hard to hold on to. But the bit slid in, and when you go to grab a hold of your screw and pull away, the thing would slide right back out of it. And now your bit's now stuck on there. So it's awesome that locks in there. So I don't know, where did you order this from? I don't know where you got this, Harold, but if you want to, if anybody else is interested in one of these, maybe Harold has the link for it. I'm not sure. But it's an awesome tool, and this will be something I'm going to keep with my bash box whenever I take with me out, whenever me and geez, I have a brain fart. Me and Trevor head out, we're going on the motocross track and run, because I'm always fixing them, either his or my car. We're always working. Yeah, that's right. Next piece. So this is what he sent me along, a shirt. And I love this thing. So it's New Wave. I think if I can get in here. New Wave RC team, run your car, not your mouth. How many people need to hear that? But this is where it's from, his store, RC Madness, in Enfield, Connecticut. And that is his phone number. It's probably backwards, so I'm not sure. I don't remember how the camera's. But awesome looking shirt, man. Really dig it. Definitely going to be wearing this. Always love t-shirts. They're always great to have. So I love the slogan, though. Run your car, not your mouth. Because you all know there's plenty of those people out there that speak a big game or want to run their mouth about, their car is so much more superior than your car. Just, but thank you very much, Harold. I greatly appreciate that, man. I truly do. The love and support from all you guys, and people just dropping in here and remembering and commenting and asking about how the whole situation with my arm and all that stuff's going. I mean, I just really appreciate all of it. I truly do, guys. Absolutely, it's fun, and that's why when I went out, whenever me and Mike from RC for Us and Kenny from Black Sheep RC all got together, I mean, it truly just felt like one of those times where you're not out there just going out there trying to make a video and just going out there to run the cars. Like, it was a blast just getting to hang out, talk, watch each other do crazy stuff, watch each other destroy stuff. I mean, it was so much fun. I had just an awesome time out there. And, I'm hoping, coming this summer again in the spring, I was talking with Mike and Kenny, about maybe trying to plan something somewhere. He brought up about maybe trying to plan something like summertime or end of summertime, kind of get together somewhere that we could all figure out a good place, to all go, because it's a blast. It is so much fun when you get a bunch of people together out there just having a good time. I know I had a blast. And between the videos that Mike had and Kenny had, it was great. And I was talking a lot about Kenny about this from Black Sheep. But it was so funny watching videos. You always, when I'm sitting recording my videos, I see my perspective, right? I see what I'm recording and what anybody else would see. But I'm sitting there watching Mike's videos and Kenny's videos and stuff. And it's so strange watching things go on from a whole other perspective and somebody else's view. It was really cool. Like, I really thought it was neat and enjoyed watching the videos because it's like kind of seeing everything from a whole different standpoint was really cool. So that's definitely a fun time. I know. Poor Kenny's daughter, man. After watching Kenny's and Mike's videos, I didn't even realize how many times I almost took that poor girl out. There was the crash into the one, the crash landing up onto the deck in front of her. Then she was underneath the ramp. I almost took her out under the ramp. And then I didn't even know that when we were at the skate park, that whenever I launched, it was my X-Max or one of them around that loop. I almost hit her then. And there was somewhere else. But I didn't even realize all that happened because I was down inside the loop and didn't realize what was going on sometimes. But yeah, if you're watching, I'm sorry for almost trying to kill you multiple times. Jeez. I first thought, Kenny was going to take the place of Trevor for the day, but unfortunately it was her. I think Neve. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names sometimes. But anyway, yeah, it was funny. We're all amazed that Trevor's still young. Yeah, Harold, there's been funny times that poor Trevor, man. I still remember, and it comes up with my timeline all the time, or every year from the motocross track, whenever I almost decapitated Trevor with the Outcast 8S. I mean, that was the one time that, it literally, it made my stomach just drop. It scared the hell out of me whenever I seen that car. And thank God he had the reaction time and he ducked. Because, you guys know the Outcast 8S is no joke. it's got some weight to it. And that thing was about half throttle. It was moving. And it was way too close for comfort. I was like, geez, oh man. But yeah, there's been many close calls. It's like no matter how hard you try to be careful sometimes, things just, you cannot predict all the time which way these cars. That car spins just a little bit coming off the face of a jump. And it could be anywhere. No idea where that thing's going to go. Anybody else doing anything fun? I know Mike said he's heading out today, but he's still yeah, Nick, I cannot pick on Trevor about forgetting remotes because I have done it numerous times, and it always happens because of this. What's up, Kurtz RC? How's it going, buddy? I grab all my normal Armas, and I grab my Spectrum remote, and I automatically think that, yeah. Cheers, Lux. Gotta have the Red Bull for the day. But yeah, it's like you grab the remote for all the majority of the cars you grab, and so many times I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to grab the Max. I'm going to throw the Max in there last second, and you forget that it's not on that remote. And you get, as soon as you get there and you go to grab the remote, it strikes you. Then it's like, oh no. And I know Trevor. I was talking with Trevor. He was talking to me about it and asking. He wants to put all of his cars on one remote too, because he started forgetting his. It's always the Traxxas because I don't ever change them out. Majority of the times because like all the Armas you get, you can just, pop the case over for a second and rebind it, the receiver right to the remote, and it's done and it's over with. But the Traxxas, you got to get a whole new receiver for. And that's why so many times I don't do it. It's like, it's got its receiver in here. I'll just run it this way. And then I tend to forget all the time. So, yeah. The excerpt. I don't know, Harold. That was something else I was going to talk about here, is this whole XRT thing. Right now, I'm not in a rush to get one right now. I'll say that. Am I going to get one? Honestly, now it's about a 50-50 shot. Right now YouTube is flooded, and I mean flooded with those videos. The XRT is just, it's everywhere. You cannot look up RC in YouTube without finding an XRT video. I haven't seen too many of them yet that people have had completely stock, as far as even all electronics and everything, that what they're doing. I was just watching Thunder RC's video earlier, watching him run his. And it seemed like it was taking his ramp pretty good. From what I've seen, it seemed short. I don't know what was, if he just made a short one with it. But it seemed like it held together, and the air control seemed okay. But obviously I haven't driven one yet, and I'm kind of waiting. Buying a traction remote. See, I've done that before. I have done that, Jeremy, where I had got there and binded just my other Traxxas one. But the key is I got to remember at least one Traxxas remote. Too many times I just grabbed my DX5, and then anything Traxxas is out at that point, except my X-Max. No, that's right. I ended up putting that back in there. Wait, which car do I have? I have one of my Traxxas on my DX5. I don't know which one it is. I changed out the receiver for it because I ended up putting the Traxxas back in the X-Max whenever it was doing all the weird stuff. But yeah, no, I'm thinking about my hobby shop has one down there. They called me on Friday and told me, they said, hey, we got them here. We'll hold one aside if you want it. So I might go down tomorrow and take a look at it a little bit more, but it seems like the big thing's going on with it. And it's not that it's a big surprise. A lot of the trucks, like we said, have, garbage metal and stuff like that. But it seems like, man, the spur and pinion are pretty much an immediate upgrade on it. You have to do with those because those gears just seem like, I think I've seen 4 videos now so far with people within the first minute or two of running those things. The spur and the pinion the teeth are shredded and gone. So, yeah, Cedric, this is the thing. I enjoy my X-Max. But one thing I learned through the X-Max build and process and everything I did to that thing, from just going ridiculous with the power system and all the different upgrades. And it's like right now, I like it where it is. I would like a tiny bit more power than the stock system. I might get like a max, I might put a different ESC on that motor here. But the good thing is, with the power system and what I've done to it right now, I can take that thing out, run it, beat it around, and she's been coming home in one piece. And that's been a huge plus. Now, I'm afraid with this XRT that, because it's more of an actual buggy style. See, the X-Max, just because of its giant, lumbersome, goofy way that the thing handles and jumps, it's okay if it's slightly slower. At least this is how I think about it. I'm okay with it being a little bit slower. But the XRT, it's more of that buggy style, and I feel like you're going to want the thing to run. And then it's like, well, are you going to start running into all the same problems with constantly, as soon as you start really jumping that thing, busting bulkheads every time, breaking the shock towers, and breaking the front and rear chassis. I guess those aren't bulkheads, but the the front and rear sections of the car, constantly busting those tabs off all the time. So I guess that's the stuff I'm afraid of, because that's all that ever happened with the X-Max. As soon as I started trying to really launch that X-Max, it was just, I couldn't get one run out of it. Every time that something broke on that thing. And tearing that thing down, I mean, it's not like, like the 6S car. It's a little more time consuming, and it's a pain just with the way that Traxxas designed some of their things. I mean, they're not terrible, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into one. I honestly don't, because I don't want a repeat of the X-Max. I mean, the Sledge, that thing's been awesome. I could honestly say that the Sledge has turned into, as far as durability and everything, it's up there in the top 3. Between my Creighton XL, minus when I'm not slamming it into a wall or something stupid. Between the Creighton XL, probably my Italian's been really good to me too. I mean, they're all pretty much the same platform, so I don't really want to include that. But I'm going to say Creighton XL, the Max, and the Sledge are probably right now in the top 3 as far as just durability of being able to go out there and beat the snot out of them, and they come home in one piece. I mean, whenever me and Mike and all of us got together up there, out of all the cars I took, my Sledge was the only thing that came home in one piece. So there's something to be said for it. And I mean, after the shock setup I put on it from M2C Racing, the new emulsion shock setup, I mean, the suspension on that thing, honestly, guys, I mean, just a night and day difference. The Sledge on that, the suspension on the Sledge was horrible. But after doing that whole new shock setup, the thing was it was beautiful. It took the jumps up there. There's massive ramps up there that, was up at Mike's BMX track. It took those things amazingly. So I don't know. I think I might continue to watch a few other people's videos for a little bit on that and then decide. But again, it's like, if you're going to get into having to change out, I mean, going into any car is not a big surprise. You're changing out the ESC and the gears is one thing. I just don't want to be having to change out chassis and front and rear, chassis assemblies or bulkhead pieces, whatever you want to call them, every run. Because that got annoying. That got really annoying. Same here, 11K Ford PC, even bought a bit of on gears. Yeah, it never seems to end with the X-Max, because there's a fine line with the X-Max on what you can do with it. And that's why I said, I think, and that's why I went back steps with that whole car, because in its stock form, maybe even with just with a different ESC, it's great. But as soon as you start trying to go above the crazy gearing, like 2050 or whatever in that area, and going into bigger motors and trying to launch that thing over 100 feet, it seems like that 120 foot mark is where that thing it doesn't like it. And that's where the big jump down at the motocross track is where I was running into that problem constantly, because, I mean, that jump out there normally where the cars land is around anywhere from 140 to 160 foot. And, well, about 150 foot, I guess, about the max out there. But anytime it was dropping out there, that's where something broke every time, whether or not it be something in the steering or in the wheels, the bulkheads, one of the parts of the chassis. I mean, everything just broke. But after stuck the stock electronics back in that thing and left the M2C Racing Center drive shaft system in it and the motor mount, or not even the motor mount, or just the top brace piece. Everything, it's been holding up great. Well, yeah, Phillips, and that's where those big power systems and everything in there. When you start putting those big power systems in there, it requires bigger mounts, more bracing, and the car seems to have a limit with that. You start getting crazy with that. I mean, whenever I had that 800 kV motor in there, the Coke cam motor, I mean, as soon as I put that system in there, man, I felt that X-Max. I'm like, holy cow. I mean, this thing has gained some serious weight. And ever since then, it went downhill on the fun factor, and the durability just went right in the toilet. Yeah, and the Vitavon, it's like the Vitavon stuff. It's nice, and I want to put the Vitavon differential cases on the sledge. I think I mentioned this before, but man, it's hard to want to put another $250, $300 in that car for differential cases and their gears. I mean, like everybody said in here, it's like you already have a car that costs $800 plus all the other upgrades that have been done to it. I mean, you know, you're going to have $2,000 in a Traxxas sledge. It kind of gets ridiculous. But I do want to try them because definitely that's the only little bit of weak spot that's left on the sledge is those differential cases. They start to warp, and you go from having a your rear diff in there nice and tight. There's no play. Everything feels great till all of a sudden you pop that case open and your whole case is like flopping around and it's got all kinds of play and the whole case just gets twisted and warped. It's really weird. Yeah. The X-Max is fun when it's not broken, but that's exactly it, when it's not broken. But I mean, like I said, I just had mine out. I don't know if I posted or not yet, but I had the X-Max out again, beat the snot out of it. I mean, had landings with it that I thought for sure were going to be toast. Came home running, dusted it off, and threw it back on the shelf. So, you know, you can't beat it. The X-Max, yeah, definitely does. Oh, yeah, I mean, the stock Traxxas, those things are not. I don't know why they went that route with that truck and the power and all of it, with the size of it, tires. Why that they went, you know, that Mod 1. What's up, Guy on a Moose? How's it going, man? Put the Max 5 with the 1100 kV and the XRT already. Yeah, and you know, the other thing I've been seeing a lot of on those XRTs, and I didn't even honestly notice because it was pictures on social media and stuff like that, but the drive cups are snapping left and right on them. The drive cups, the gears, and what the heck else was it? Or something else. It was kind of minor things, but it seems like the drive system, I don't know. That's what I'm curious to see if you could put, you know, even with a stock motor, just put a Max 5 in it and run that thing and it doesn't tear itself apart. If that happens, I might get one. But, I mean, the X-Max was kind of in the same boat with certain pieces. And the only thing, it is another thing, I mean, if, you know, the M2C center drive shaft system from the X-Max, I don't know if it's the same layout, honestly, because I haven't seen it. But the fact that they use that same setup from the X-Max in the XRT with that goofy aluminum tube down through the center that bends if you breathe on it too hard, like that whole system is stupid. Luckily that thing from M2C, the center drive shaft system they put together that I have in the X-Max, I mean, I've never had an issue with that center drive shaft system again. It has been rock solid. If that works in the XRT too, I mean, that's awesome. But it's just that whole center drive. So when I first got that X-Max, pretty much every run, I was bending one of those their center drive shaft tubes every time, and then you hear it just everything's just rubbing against everything inside. It's getting kind of obnoxious, and I wonder if those are going to bend. I mean, obviously, the chassis dimensions and stuff on the XRT, it's more level across the bottom where it doesn't have the risers where it goes into the center. So hopefully that'll keep that all from flexing so much that it does that. But again, I haven't seen enough of them run to know if it's still happening. Well, yeah, that's a good point, Raven. There's, why do a lot of companies not do that stuff? I mean, Tracks, all of them do it. I mean, Arma does stupid things that you look at. It's like, why did you guys do this? Why did you guys use this material, or whatever? Traxxas is a little bit more famous for that because they love selling the aftermarket parts. But yes, I just wish once a company would actually build a car from scratch out of the box that was actually worthy. Now, I know that could take a lot of fun out of the hobby because, I mean, that's obviously part of it too, is being able to upgrade, modify it, and make it yours, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of guys out there that just want to get a good car that they can go out there and beat the snot out of and not have to work with and tinker with all the time, or take to their local hobby shop and pay somebody to fix. Because some people just aren't real handy like that, but they enjoy the hobby. And it's like, they enjoy the hobby and have fun with it. But why there isn't just like one of these manufacturers build a car with the proper diff cases from the start, the proper gears, the proper motors, and ESCs, and have something that's like, just for an example, build like a Creighton XL style car where it's like everything is, pretty much or close to the best stuff out there, or really good stuff out there, out of the box, and you're not having to have all these goofy, weird problems. I do. The drive shaft. The bottom plate has extra. Oh, on the XRT, the bottom plate's more supportive. See, I mean, yeah, and I get that. Right? It'd be nice to be able to just go and buy, an RTR off the shelf, take it home, grab some batteries, and pull that thing out of the box, and it's not shred all of its gears or shred the spur and the pinion gear in the first 30 seconds of driving it. I mean, that's insanity. And the fact that they make these things so brittle like that out of the box, so that you're like, well, I just spent $1,000 on this car. I got to fix it. So now I got to go buy their gears and spend another, $100, $150 for gears. That's the stuff that's just BS. I mean, anything's going to break. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can still put the best stuff. I mean, I've now destroyed my Creighton XL twice, and it's got a lot of good parts on it. I mean, so obviously anything can be broken, but stuff like those gears, differential gears and stuff like that, I mean, that stuff, I just wish that they would actually put the proper stuff in there out of the box. Because you know what? It would bring more people to the hobby where, how many people I've seen there and talked to and heard from, they're like, yeah, I bought this car, and it's like I got to drive it for an hour and the thing is destroyed, or it blew up, it caught fire, or whatever, and it's like, I ain't doing this, and they're out of it. So I mean, for the sake of the hobby, these manufacturers, you think they try to make them a tiny bit more durable, out of the box. But yes, a lot of the kit cars somebody mentioned in here, like the Technos and all those, that the kit cars, they are great. But obviously, for a lot of people wanting to get into the hobby initially, I mean, that's an expensive route to go. I mean, just like my Techno. I mean, that thing, or the MT410, it's like you have a kit car and you spend, whatever, $400, $500, $600 for a kit car. But then you now have to look at, all right, well, now I got to buy tires for it. Now I got to buy a motor, an ESC, servo, all this other stuff. And they're like, well, holy cow, it's going to cost me, $1,000 or $1,200 to get my first RC car or get this RC car. So that turns a lot of people away. But at the same time, I guess you could argue that, people that are just starting out in the hobby, most likely you're not going to build a kit car from the scratch. So there is that. The Max is probably one of the biggest tanks that Arma has ever built. My Max V2, I mean, that thing is like, Ever since I changed out the front hubs and the C blocks to the aluminum, and I'm not trying to put a whole bunch of heavy stuff on that thing, but I broke them a couple times. And after putting those on there, I mean, that car has now came back from probably a half dozen bashes of just beating the snot out of that thing. And the Macs don't care. The Macs just keeps going. Far as for a 4S basherman, that Max is awesome. It is an awesome skate park car, too. I mean, it will take the skate park beatings like no other. Well, yeah, people do want cheap, and it's like the whole idea of, the theory of you get what you pay for doesn't always apply. And obviously there's a lot of younger and kids that, that want to get this, and they get their parents to buy them their first car or buy them a car. And a lot of times they have no idea what they're looking for. They just see a car with a cool body and like, oh, I want that one. Never mind, the thing's total garbage. And, it's like, oh yeah, I got this thing for $100. Well, I hope you're not expecting too much. Yeah, guy in a moose. Well, you've watched it in my videos on my Macs. I had that thing running on 4S or 6S, and I didn't like it. I did not like that Max on 6S. I might be one of the weird people. Like my X Max, I didn't love with a ton of power, and that Max is perfect on 4S. It is the perfect power system for that car, and it's just you don't have tire and rubber flying everywhere every time. It's got great air control, and it's durable. It holds up great. I have loved the Max on 4S and just that car, period. I have definitely put probably the least amount of bench time and parts into that car than any car I own, especially for the amount of time I've had that Max. I mean, the Max has been phenomenal. The Creighton EXB. What are you usually killing on yours, Jeremy? My Creighton 6S. What's up, RC Master? What's up, buddy? My Creighton 6S, I had so many problems and issues, and it's like I had these on and off constant problems with differentials that get frustrating as all get out. But then, like you guys know, I'm a huge advocate for the aluminum differential cases. I mean, it saves so much time and aggravation and differential problems. Usually after doing that, it's usually something stupid. When you land it really bad and you snap an A-arm or a hinge pin or something. Rear bulkhead and shock tower last time. Did you land it on the back end really hard or something? But I mean, it's like my new XL. That thing landed beautiful, but it landed on concrete and exploded the front differential case. It wasn't the case, but it was the front plastic cover because I didn't put the hot racing aluminum piece on. I put the stock plastic, but it blew that apart. Shattered the one A-arm, and my rear hubs completely. I put together a video on that. You guys will see. It was ridiculous. The rear hubs and the pin stretched those hubs out so bad from that landing. I don't know how so much damage was done from one landing on concrete like that, but it destroyed it. I replaced everything, and everything is super tight and feels really great again. So hopefully that thing also drives straighter now, because I changed all my differential fluids out to better fluids because I had too heavy a fluid in the rear and I had too light in the front. So it was kind of creating a weird thing. So I got the differential fluid set up properly now. I was talking to Rich Duperbash and chat with him about the differential fluids and stuff he runs in his XL. So I'm trying that whole setup out in there, and I think everything felt good. I took just out a quick little test strip around the back lot, and it felt really good. So as soon as it stops raining, I'll take it out and have a little better run on it. You're in the outcast system, and I found my clicking noise with her. Oh yeah, was it doing it under braking or under power? because my Outcast 6S was clicking, but it was only doing it under braking. So it was the front diff. I was missing there was like 3 teeth that weren't totally broken, but you could just see that tiny little dip in the gears right there where it wore or started to chip the very edges, and it was creating that clicking noise and causing it to skip. I put a brand new diff in it and did some stuff to it, but I recently actually sold the Outcast 6S. So that one's gone. But kind of right now, I was trying to get rid of some of the stuff that I don't run as much. Anymore, I've been kind of sticking a lot more with obviously the 6S. That's why I'm glad to get these Ovonic batteries, because I haven't got to run my Creighton or my Outcast 8S very much, because I've only had one set of 4S packs, and the one set doesn't fit in the Outcast. I have the battery boxes stretched all the way open, and they wouldn't go in there. So I'm glad I got these batteries. I can finally run the Creighton and the Outcast again. Well, that was a really random comment there, Sawyer. Samsung is better than Apple. I'm not sure. I don't know if you joined the wrong chat, or you're just in here trying to stir up the old, Android versus Apple debate. I'm an Apple person, not because I'm used to Apple. I know. You know what? Just throw this up there. I've been used to Apple for a long time. I like the ease of them. What's up, Matt? How's it going, bud? Yeah. I'm trying to start a war. Well, I like Apple. The only thing Apple, their interface, we'll change subject here. Let's see if we can start a war in here. I like Apple's interface and user-friendly setup. Far, far better than Android. The only thing I'll give Android is their hardware part of it, like cameras and stuff like that. I would say are more superior. But as far as trying to do stuff, biggest thing I can say is I first had an Android when I first started in television a while back. Well, I won't say when I first started, but early on. And I would get all these different documents and forms and things that we had to fill out from clients and get signed off on. And doing those things on an Android was a freaking nightmare. I almost ran the phone over. Oh, to do this, you have to download this program. Now, you have to download this. You got to download that. To do anything on an Android. I went to Apple. Oh, yeah, well, it converts it. It converts it for you and makes it work. And that's the easiest way to say the difference between Apple and Android is the Apple just works. It's foolproof. It's stupid proof. And that's what's nice about it, is you don't have to do 10 things to make one thing work. So that's where I like the Apple better. Guess what Samsung manufactures majority of Apple OLED and microprocessors? Samsung manufactures majority of the Apple. Well, yeah. Then why don't they use, if Samsung is manufacturing this stuff, why do they make their interface so much more difficult to use? Apples are tasty, especially baked into crisp. They are Dynamoose. I haven't had a good apple pie in a long time. Now, Harold, we're not going to have a full-on war here. Everybody's got their preference. It's just like Traxxas and Arma and anything. Everybody's got their preference of what they like. I just like Apple's interface better. I like the ease and use of it. But I'm sure if I went to an Android and got used to it after a few months, 6 months, it would probably seem completely normal. But yeah. Too bad I got most of my crawlers back up. Yeah, I mean, so many places. You're asking me, Arma or Traxxas? Then I guess Apple put Samsung stuff in better. I guess. Um, you know, if I had, see, it all depends on the car. It honestly all depends on the car. If I had a Creighton 6S or an X Max beside me, knowing either one, knowing both of them now and what they are, I would pick the Creighton 8S. The X Max is fun. However, I can do more stuff with my Creighton 8S than I can the X Max. If I had the Sledge and I don't know, see that'd be hard because the Sledge is a great car. I'm not going to fault the Sledge at all. But I love my Creighton XL and the Italian Hoagie. I mean, that'd be a hard decision. But I would probably have to say if I had to only have one car's manufacturer for the rest of my life, I would probably pick Arma. Just because I've had better luck with them. There's less proprietary, goofy stuff Arma doesn't do. Just like Traxxas with their stupid proprietary servo setups that they build in there and other goofy stuff. I mean, they make the stuff so you have to use their garbage to fix it a lot of times. Not all the time. There are a lot of other aftermarket companies, like I said, make ways around things. But I don't like the way Traxxas build some of their stuff. Well, you're not lying there, Philip RCs. These phones have I was just having this conversation for any guys that have been around here a while. Bruno, my coworker again. We were having this conversation. I think it was with him. I don't remember. But the fact that how these phones and social media and everything, I think, has turned so much of what the world is into anymore. It's just a disaster. Before people would go out there and do stuff, things were a little bit more private. Somebody built some of their car some way or did something. Nobody had any idea. Somebody could have the fastest car in the world. He just enjoyed it. He had a great time. He thought it was awesome. Now, you think you have the fastest car, you post up a video, a picture, and now you have 16 people bashing you saying, "Oh, dude, I did that in my first year." Right? Everybody's just all over everybody immediately because so many people out there, I don't know if it's like insecurities, they feel bad about themselves, what it is, but it's like everybody too many times are always looking for a way to put somebody else down to make themselves feel either better about themselves or better about the decisions that they have made. Like just stupid stuff like cars. And people always, bashing other people's cars just because they own a Traxxas, they automatically feel like, well, Traxxas is the best, so Arma's trash. Well, it's like, it's a stupid argument. It's stupid. And honestly, it's just the same thing with the phones. The phones is a stupid argument. Like, use what you use. Enjoy what you'd like. Just live your life. Don't live your life for anybody else. Too many people revolve their life anymore around what they think other people is going to like, dislike, or approve of. It doesn't make any sense. Sitting here bashing on other people or putting down stuff that people enjoy. I don't know, especially not what the hobby's about. It's in here to enjoy and have fun. And it's always, there's always going to be a little funny poking around things here and there, and that's fine. But legitimately going on there and bashing and telling somebody they're an idiot for buying this car, dude, you should have bought this instead. That thing's trash. I mean, it's not helping anything. Maybe the guy only bought that $200 car, not because he thought it was the best thing in the world. Maybe it was the only thing he could afford at the time. And he's trying to enjoy and get into the hobby. And then they got some a-hole, coming in there telling him that the car he bought was trash. I mean, that's, that's not very cool. I know this conversation has gone to phones and everything else. My coworker always tells me, he said, I'm gross for drinking sugar-free Red Bull. I'm not a sugar-free person. However, I love the taste of this. I don't like the taste of regular Red Bull. I don't know what it is, but I like the sugar-free. But I'm not usually like a sugar-free person because I know the stuff that's in it isn't great for you, but I like the taste. And yeah, and you know what? I mean, so many of these Facebook groups are the worst. for that stuff too. I mean, I see guys get there, goes, "Oh, I just bought my first car today," and puts up these pictures, all happy and proud that he got his first RC car. He's excited to get the hobby. And it's like one of the first comments you see is, "Dude, you should have spent another $100 and got this. That thing's junk," or you should have done this. It's like, is it your money? No, let the guy enjoy his moment. Yeah, it's like the drinks. Yeah, I know. It's like there's certain flavors of things. I've never, and I've always people were told growing up, the diet stuff's bad for you. Don't drink the diet or sugar-free version of the stuff. But there's just certain things. The taste of it is just better for some reason. WL Toys, again, there's a place for everything, right? Does everybody need to take their car and upgrade the hell out of it? No, they don't. I see lots of videos out there of guys, upgrading the heck out of their cars, but yet it's not needed yet. They're out there doing some bashing and stuff like that and having fun with it. But I mean, again, if they want to do that, it's their money. They can do that. WL Toys, the same boat, right? So you got somebody that's just kind of interested in getting into the hobby and having fun with it. It's kind of a good way to kind of get a taste in it. And a lot of them are pretty quick as far as they're fun, they're fast. Now, parts and things like that can definitely be a nightmare with some of those cars. And they do build some rather weird ways of building the WL Toys. But it's just like you guys will see here, Rilardo is sending me out one of the new cars that's being reached, the 12th scale. And honestly, I mean, those guys, a lot of people said that, oh, they're kind of a copy or knockoff, or they've taken something from WL Toys and they've kind of changed it over. And, oh, you out of here, Riviera? I appreciate you stopping in, buddy, again. And thank you so much for the shirt and tool, buddy. I really, really appreciate that, man. But yeah, I just lost train of thought. But yeah, no, the Rilardos are coming. One thing different about them is parts have been a lot easier to get a hold of. And people say, oh, well, they look so much like a WL Toys. But I also see people were literally making the statement that the new Traxxas XRT just looked like a slightly larger Arma Italian. I mean, that had to have been the dumbest statement I have ever seen on a car. When somebody said that, I literally just paused and said, this dude can't be for real, right? Like, there is nothing about the XRT and the Arma Italian that remotely are anything alike. But again, people just spout out stupid things sometimes. Bargain on an orange truck today. Yeah, man, you have fun with it. I had all kinds of weird little, cheaper cars and had a blast with them. And it doesn't matter. As long as they bring a smile to your face and you enjoy it, that's all that matters. I mean, I can take out the Creighton 8S and have a blast. I can take out my Losi Mini B or Losi Mini T and have a blast. It don't matter the size. It's fun. And honestly, those smaller cars like that Rilardo and my Losis, my Minis, those things are a blast. I mean, those things are so much fun to take out. And the durability of them is surprising. I thought I'd be snapping A-arms and shocks off on those Minis left and right. But amazingly enough, they have held up really good. They're a blast. I just don't know what my next car is going to be because, I first was really thinking about that XRT, but I'm honestly really hesitant. Just see what people ask me, what RC car. You know what? That's Sawyer right there. Anybody that has ever even asked me, they said, hey, I want to get my first car. What should I get? Either the Granite or the Typhon or even a Sentin. Megas are probably one of the best ways to get into it. You have a car that actually is supported. You can go to your local hobby shop and get parts for. They're cheap. They're like what, $239, somewhere around there. And plus a battery and a charger. So, you got another, $100 whatever dollars in that if you get the stuff on Amazon. or wherever. But you can get parts for them. You can fix them. And later on, if you go, you know what, this thing isn't fast enough for me anymore, you go buy a brushless system for, $100, slap that thing in that thing, and now you got a whole new car. And I mean, I had my Sentin and beat the snot out of that thing forever. And my Typhon 3S and my Granite I had all of them, I had all three of those 3S cars for a long time and just ripped them and killed them, broke chassis and everything. But, parts are cheap. And that's the other great thing. You go out there and you break a shock, you break a drive shaft. I mean, you're only a few bucks, $8-10, depending on what it is. Slap another one on there and you're good to go again. Yeah, the Granite is just a great way to go. And I'd say above that, if you want to spend, I'll spend a little bit more money, then I would say the Big Rock. The Big Rock would be the next best way to go. I mean, the Big Rock's an awesome truck. Obviously you're going into 3S there a little bit longer. It's a fun time. I loved my Big Rock. That thing was a blast. Now, I mean, everything is so expensive. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy. It's like, you go order parts, and I remember ordering parts, gears and tires and stuff like that, a year ago. And it's like the price of some of this stuff now is just absurd. Nuts. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better anytime soon. But I'm not going to keep everybody too long. Honestly, I thought I figured I'd get on there for about an hour. I just wanted to kind of show everybody, a little bit of a mail day we got. And I'm going to hopefully head out. I'm going to get these things on the charger, the new Avonix, get these on the charger today, and hopefully take that out tomorrow. Because like I said, I want to take out the Creighton or the Outcast or both of them and run them. And again, I know Harold's gone, but Harold, thank you so much for the awesome toolkit and the sweet shirt. And I think we were just talking about this, but, love this shirt. Run your car, not your mouth. Great shirt. Again, thank you very much, guys, for sending that stuff along. Really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, Jeremy. Jenny's RC, man. A lot of people always asking us, Jenny's RC legit? Is that real? Like, are they a good company? Man, they got the best prices on stuff. Anytime I get on eBay or something like that, I get on their page on eBay, and 90% of the times I get 90% of my stuff from them because, I mean, you cannot beat their pricing. There's another company on there. I think it's called Liquid. I think you guys see them. I think it's called Liquid RC on eBay. They always do free shipping, and they also are pretty much the same price point as Jenny's on 95% of their stuff. But they also do free 3-day shipping. So, have you guys ever seen that? Liquid RC on eBay has some really great stuff. Anytime I'm searching for random stuff like A-arms and drive shafts or shock pieces, Liquid's always got stuff on there, and they got great prices too. And they do have free shipping. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to head out here. I got a few things to do today. But just kind of wanted to chat with everybody for a little bit and say hello, and hope everybody's having a good weekend. And hopefully your week isn't too painful. Hey, you ever going to do it? Yes, Sawyer. Hey, Christian, you just caught us at the tail end again, buddy. But yes, Sawyer, I was just talking with some guys about some airplanes. I'm looking to get one. I'm going to get something. It's not going to obviously be till springtime now because we're coming into winter. I'm in the Northeast. So, but I am going to find something, and I'm going to start out this time with something kind of very dummy-proof because I'm not an airplane person at all. I can drive a car. I can drive a drone. I can even drive a helicopter half decent. Airplanes have never been my forte. So I'm going to start out with, it's one of the ones from Horizon, but it's very user-friendly. It's very easy to control, and you can kind of adjust it as you go and get better with it. Christian, you know what? Don't come in here telling me that airplanes are easy, and apparently maybe I've bought in the wrong airplanes. I think I've tried to immediately go the Aero Scout. That's exactly what it is. That's the one I was looking at. Couldn't remember the name, or thank yous. But yes, I've tried some other airplanes. I had one that was kind of looked like an F-16 type thing. It had a single prop on it. It was smaller. Couldn't fly that thing for nothing. I mean, I had it up for a while, but I had terrible luck with it. I had another one that was slightly bigger, and needless to say, I don't have them anymore. I was not good with them. So I'm going to try to start out with one that's slightly bigger, but a little bit more friendly. But yeah, I think it is that Aero Scout was one I was looking at. It's got like kind of the larger, slightly larger front body on it. You want to get an AMA membership? Kind of argue with my local hobby shop owner. He won't carry Arma. That's crazy. What, is he only a Traxxas guy? Only a Traxxas place? See, I've heard. I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I heard sometimes like certain hobby shops have to be exclusively Arma, and they get like a better price. And if they carry anything else, then they drop into a different price point for what they get their cars for. I don't know if that's total truth, but I've heard that before. Yeah, honestly, I don't know much about the plane world, so honestly, I don't know. Okay, see, I heard this a couple times, but I honestly never really asked anybody. But I did hear that if you were exclusively Traxxas, that obviously you got a better price on the car. So, but at the same time, they're probably missing out. Okay, they might get a few more dollars for their car, but now they're missing out on a whole nother set of people, that want to buy Arma that now they're not getting those sales to. Like, I don't know which manufacturers, the hobby shop makes more money from, whether or not it's Traxxas or Arma or any of them. I mean, those are always the two main ones you see. But you would think that for the sake of the hobby and them wanting to be more to a broad audience, that they would want to carry both. But obviously that's not true. I got told, I went to, this was one of the arguments that I know some of you guys seen the video. Me and Trevor went to the BMX track that we go to, here and there. And one of the cop that we ran into the one time out of, the dozens and dozens of times we've been there, told us this whole thing about to run an RC car at a park that you had to have a $1 million policy. When I heard this, I literally just sat there and looked at him for a second. Now, I don't know what a $1 million RC insurance policy exactly is, but it sounded like the biggest load of BS I could hear in the world. Now, I can understand with an airplane that, you obviously have something airborne that is now, you take that thing out, a quarter mile, half mile out away from, you're flying now over top of commercial residential property, and that thing drops down and is now turned into a lawn dart into somebody's windshield. I get it. I understand that. But with RC cars that are driving within a 50-yard, most of the time, 100-yard area, that you were able to see what's going on seemed kind of dumb. But I looked at that cop and I'm like, you're fooling me, right? Because it sounded like the biggest load of BS. And I talked to two other cops down there before, and they've never said that. No, you don't have to have insurance on an RC car. So apparently, depending on what you need is depending on what cop you get for the day. I don't know. Yeah, I never understood that either. So it's like for an RC car, like I get it for an airplane. I do. I would understand why if you're flying these things at clubs and places like that, that obviously you hurt somebody, you damage property, you have a way to cover for it. I get that. But for an RC car, it seems stupid. What was I going to say? Great. Yeah, I don't know where I originally seen that plane, but it's an Aeroscot. I think it's got a couple different. It's got like one or two settings or a couple settings on it where you can kind of get it more You can tune up the maneuverability as you progress and get better with it. But the thing will take, if you do crash it, you land it bad, the thing is pretty durable from what I've understood on that plane. So that's kind of why I think I want to get one of those. I was actually just looking at it the other day down at the other hobby shop I go to. They had one down there, and I was checking it out really close. And it looked like a great plane to kind of get good with flying a plane. We were waiting for it. And as soon as we pulled in there, man, that day, warbird planes are awesome. Yeah. As soon as we pulled in there that day, it was cold. It was early. It was like, I think it was either right as winter was getting ready to start or right out of winter. But we pulled in this park. There's not a soul in this entire park. Nobody. And we pull up to the BMX track, and all of a sudden there's this cop just loafing underneath this tree in the middle of the park. And there's nobody there. It's like, what are you even doing there? Like, there's nobody even in this park. It's wintertime. And as soon as we open up the tailgate, like, we didn't even pull the cars out of the truck. I dropped my tailgate, and as soon as the cop seen what we had in there, he just came over and fed us all these lines of BS, obviously. I was like, dude, don't you have something else better to do here? What ramp? Plan will correct your input mistakes, dude. Huh. Ramps, I haven't bought. I built one ramp that I used for a long time. And then the only ramp we've been using is the one that Trevor just recently bought that we use, on the channel all the time, which was that Fresh Park ramp. But I don't have any other ramp. And I couldn't tell you anything for great recommendation for something like that, because anytime you start getting into the larger, not even larger, but wider ramps, I mean, those little skateboard ramps, if you put two of those together, those plastic skate little ramps or BMX ramps, they're only like, about that tall. They're usually black. If you cut the edges off the side where it flanges down to the ground, you can stick them side by side and they work nice as, a little ramp. But you want to put two of them under, because lining up a car on one of those is kind of difficult. But, either something like that, because, that Fresh Park ramp, those things aren't cheap. I mean, I think they're around like $629 or something like that. I mean, those ramps are expensive. They're great ramps. They really work really nice, but they're definitely not cheap. Yeah, but on flight stuff. Yeah, I was thinking about a drone, but I feel like if I'm going to try to get into something airborne, I think I might kind of have a lot of fun with a plane if I can actually fly it. Yeah, they're going to have, from what I heard, they're going to have like another Christmas sale or something like that, where you could probably get one quite a bit cheaper. But they definitely are. Those ramps are perfect for RC cars. I mean, they're big, they're wide, and they're easy to set up. And I mean, they launch the cars. They're awesome for that. See, that's the thing, Sawyer. Helicopters, I've had a bunch of like smaller, mid-sized helicopters. I mean, I can fly those things, nothing crazy. I'm not flying upside down all nuts and stuff, but I mean, I can fly them pretty good. But planes, I guess I just haven't had enough practice and had one that was kind of appropriate to start out with. But anyway, guys, I know we kind of got sidetracked here, but I am going to head out. I got to head out and get a few things done today. I'm home for the next 3 days, and then I got to head down to Mississippi. So I got to get a few things set up. And I'm going to go get my new batteries charging up and hopefully go out and have some fun tomorrow. But I really appreciate everybody dropping in today. And again, a big thank you to Harold and 3DRC in here earlier. Big thank you to guys. Really appreciate everything. But we're going to get out of here, I think. Thanks for joining us on Sunday. And we'll be back around. I'm going to try to do a live maybe like every Sunday and Monday, during the days of the week I'm home. And, kind of throw things up and just say hi to everybody between videos. But that's going to do it, guys. You all have a great Sunday, and I hope you guys all have a smooth and easy week. But that's going to do it. So take it easy, everybody. Peace out.